Hi, and welcome to Sacred Enzyme. I'd like to take a moment today and talk to you about some information that I've been studying, and that has to do with, of course, it has, of course, to do with our magnetic field. But what I wanted to talk about is another part of the body that is extremely important, and that is our vagus nerve. Now, I'm sure that a lot of people have heard of Las Vegas, but it's not spelled the same way. It's Vegas, G-U-S, not A-S. But anyway, this nerve runs all throughout your body, and it touches every organ in your body. And I'm kind of thinking in my mind that actually the vagus nerve might be what they are using for the symbolism of the tree of life. It's just that serious that your vagus nerve is functioning properly. The vagus nerve is the first nerve in your body that responds to visual stimuli. Now, if you're looking at something and it causes a reaction, a visceral reaction, that's because your vagus nerve reacted and sent that information wherever. If you got scared, you'd have a reaction in your heart, you'd have a reaction in your stomach, you might gasp. But the whole function of the vagus nerve is to supply your energy centers with information at a rapid pace, So what happens is, as we're talking more about our magnetic field, is that when your magnetic field is damaged, how it initially starts is from a stimuli reaction from your vagus nerve. Now, if you are let's give an example. Say you're a child, and children are completely powerless when it comes to their environment that they're brought up in. So say that this child was outside playing, and someone tried to take the child. Okay. The child, of course, would immediately be in a state of extreme panic and fear, and that's going to cause an adrenaline flight or fight response, right? Okay, well, say that thankfully that nothing happened and it was foiled. But then, as time progressed, the child exhibited changes in his behavior. Like, say, for an example, he started overeating. Say he just started gaining weight for no reason. Say he had problems sleeping. Say he was hysterical, never wanted to leave the house. Okay, so you're having a lot of different responses. And if those things are not addressed and you do not get the vagus nerve back tuned correctly, because the vagus nerve can get weak. If you're not keeping your vagus nerve tuned, then your vagus nerve can get weak. And your vagus nerve is the most important nerve in your body. It connects to your trigeminal nerves, which run all through your face. And this is one of the reasons that I started studying on the vagus nerve so closely, was because when my brother had cancer, it was in his trigeminal nerves, and he was in excruciating pain. And so I knew that there was some correlation between the vagus nerve and the body, and possibly, the overload of toxins affecting the vagus nerve and it reacting with the parasympathetic nervous system to go ahead and start a whole domino series of effects in the human body. And when you're not tuned with your vagus nerve, which I point to my throat, but the vagus nerve, it touches your stomach. A lot of people that have had gastric type bypass surgeries, there are some surgeries that can actually clip this vagus nerve because they think that it controls the appetite, which it can control the appetite because it is a neuron center of electricity that's running through your body. And one of the first responses is it affects the stomach. Anytime that you have an emotional response or any kind of physical response or visual response, it's all conducted through the vagus nerve. So there are tuning exercises you can do to correct a weak vagus nerve. Now, a lot of people that have suffered traumatic injuries or traumatic situations in childhood, you know, you might be stuck with a weight problem that has been with you for on up into adulthood, and a lot of times this is due from the parasympathetic system going into high gear and affecting the whole body and setting your whole energy system off course. And when that happens, you start out of tune. Your magnetic field is damaged, and then you're more susceptible. You're more susceptible to injuries, disease, to the body. You know, you're more susceptible to infections and sunburns even, because your skin, you're not getting, everything is not being supplied to the area, so you get complete protection. So it's so important to look at our whole body in total, and some of these areas of the body that are not getting their just attention. And one of them is the vagus nerve. The other one is the fundus of our stomach. And the other thing is our lymphatic system. Our liver doesn't get enough attention. We completely feel like we can live without a gallbladder. We can survive without a gallbladder, but it's not really good to live without a gallbladder because it has a function. And we're just learning about all of these things. Like if you have a diseased gallbladder and you're in your 50s, my gallbladder was completely diseased by the time I was 40. And when I had it removed, my surgeon said that he was surprised it hadn't exploded, that it was so damaged. I had gastric bypass surgery. I followed all the rules that were given to me, and I was never told that I shouldn't be eating dense protein. I was told to set up my little dinner plate and have my protein, meat, my veg, and then starch last. Well, starch has completely made me sick, and I had complete sugar dumps. And as a result of eating dense protein, my enzymes were never working. So I never was able to completely lose all of the weight until I dealt with my emotional issues. And those emotional issues were some childhood trauma that I encountered when I was a very young child that emotionally damaged me. It caused me to eat, and it also caused my cortisol levels to be out. And as a very young child, I rapidly started gaining weight. I became a pudgy child through the middle, and I was a really unhappy kid a lot of times. And it was because I was carrying a terrible secret that I was made to feel like I should be shamed about, but I was a 3-year-old child that had no idea about the world or anything in it. So as an adult, I had to work through that trauma, and I had to work through that trauma with the person that I trusted. And the first thing I had to do was I had to come to the state of awareness that I was a child and that it was not my fault. There was no reason for me to be ashamed of anything. Shame is the worst thing that anyone can ever feel, because if you are suffering from any degree of shame in your life, you can never be your authentic, true expression. So my challenge today is for everyone that has issues with their weight or their body to take a look at doing some exercises to retune your vagus nerve. And one of the best ways to do that is singing, just humming. Have you ever noticed the happiest people just walk around humming all the time? They're well, that humming is actually tuning your vagus nerve. Isn't that amazing? And so I just find that it's incredible to me that something so simple as a joyful hum can tune our body. A beautiful picture can make us happy. It can invoke happiness. Sitting in nature can invoke peace and love and nurturing to our bodies and to the world. Yet we ignore such simple pleasures every day of putting our feet on the grass, sitting in the sun, telling people that you love them and meaning it, being your authentic self, not shaming anyone, and not feeling shame. So with that, I just want to say I appreciate you spending 10 minutes of your morning with me. And it looks like we're going to have some rain today in Central Florida, and that's okay with me because it washes the earth, and we should never lick a gift horse in the mouth. We should never be unhappy about rain, because rain is, the water is the foundation of everything. It's the foundation of us. So when you're tuned into my frequency, I'll see you here, because we are living in the present and the future and the past all at once. So you have a great day, and thank you for watching Sacred Ensign. Bye-bye.